Can two people divide the seventh bracha of Sheva Berakhot? This is a question that was asked from one of our rabbis in Brooklyn. A couple was getting married, and it seems that for various family reasons and their dynamics and the sense of the music abilities, they wanted two people to share the seventh bracha. Would this be possible? So one possibility is that they both say the full bracha, but different parts of it are said into the microphone, and therefore they combine. However, this obviously wouldn't work. It would be a problem of a bracha levatala. One would be said that would not be needed. However, there is a way that this could be done. Rabbi Linzer in Yeshiva assumes that you can hear part of a bracha and say the second part, and actually that works. I can hear somebody making a bracha of Shakol Yebit. I listen to the first part, Baruch Atah Hashem. I add Borei Minei Mizonot, and actually that counts for me. You can combine the two. Now, Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach spells out, the implications or the limits of this. Rabbi Linzer's case was a special case of hearing the beginning and the end of Kiddush, and somebody saying the middle. And he says that it's not necessarily true that would work in this case that I put forward. Because in that case, you didn't just say a middle section, you actually said a piece of the Baruch Atah, and that might not work to divide that. Also, he says, there's evidence in the Shulchan Aruch, when it comes to benching, that three people are making a zimun. One could do the first bracha, one could do the second, one could do the third, but they can't actually divide a bracha between them. So how is this different? So he says there it's different because each person only said a half. In this case, person number one is saying the full bracha, Shakol Yebit. I'm just using the first half of it. Since it's part of a full bracha, I can use the first half. So applying that to Sheva Berakhot, conveniently, the seventh bracha of Sheva Berakhot opens with a Baruch Atah and ends with a Baruch Atah. Asher bara is the beginning. Misameach hatan v'kala. So one person will say the full bracha, and they'll speak into the microphone the first Baruch Atah and the last Baruch Atah. And then the middle person will say either all or parts, or they'll alternate the middle section. So therefore, the first person has said a full bracha. That counts for Sheva Berakhot. The tzibur has heard a legitimate full bracha, combining the different parts, and therefore it will totally work. The middle person did not do a bracha levatala. He only said words from the middle of a bracha. This maybe could be questioned because the first bracha wasn't heard by the tzibur fully, and does this count if you combine the two and it's only partly heard by the tzibur? But the real issue is that it's doubtful that we rule that the bracha has to be heard by the tzibur. I think we've all been at weddings where one of the people making the bracha could not be heard by anyone, and nevertheless, nobody ever makes that person repeat the bracha. So therefore, this actually would be legitimate. Person one says the full bracha, audible parts at the beginning and the end, and they share the middle part, and these combine to make one full bracha.